my helper, Mr. Buck, trying to steal my parts. Don't touch. Hey. Mr. Buck. Hey. Wish wish. I'm working on the guitar, buddy. I got 5 of the 6 pins in so far. The issue, well, there's 2 things. One, it almost appears like the wood on the inside behind the bridge has been torn, or the bridge may have been pulled off at some point and repaired. Okay. Alright, that screw went where the picks went. Okay, there it is. Now, so far, I'm using only 1 washer because the screws are just barely reaching. Hey, mister, leave that alone. Hey, hey, hey. Mister, leave those alone. They are not play toys. Alright, I'll try to get this last one in here. Find the hole. And it's hard to see. Let's see if I can shed some more light on that. But the screw is, you know, not close to the edge of the hole. The pin barely reaches it. But once I go in with the Allen key, I should be able to make those a little bit tighter. But there's not a lot of thread from the screw going into the pin. So I'm going to give that a try. So as I mentioned, it appears that the wood on the inside underneath the bridge has been blown out. I can definitely feel a ridge there, and actually ended up having to pull out a piece of wood that was, you know, in there alongside one of the holes, and it was blocking the placement of the inner plate. So I highly suspect that this bridge may have come off at one point, or whoops. As I'm tightening the first pins, the other pins, I had tightened them by hand as tight as I could with my fingers. They came loose as I tightened the other pins on, so that tells me that this is pulling the wood together on the inside. So maybe this might work. I think it'll come down to the height of the bridge saddle. So as I was saying just before, I was rudely interrupted by the pizza delivery guy. This bridge, when it's in place, seems to be rather low, but we'll see once I get once the pins are fully installed, and I'll get some new strings on here and see how it works. I might get my luthier to put in a new saddle anyways, given that this one, when I look at it, looks like it's been sanded, modified, and of course there's definite wear where the strings cross it. So, but I want to put some strings on here for now because it might be, yes, that was my camera system. It might be another month and a half before I get this guitar into the luthier because he's really backlogged right now. So the pins are on. In the end, it went quite well. The trick is getting these fairly straight as you can underneath, then tighten them up. And as I mentioned earlier, as I was tightening these up, I gained some threading throughout as the plate was squishing the wood on the inside. Again, I'm pretty sure that the wood on the inside may have split or cracked. And so as the pins were tightened, that bar was pressing the wood together, and you know, it seems to have worked quite well. The bridge, I am getting some proper angle on the bridge at the strings, so it's not bad. The nut, as I mentioned, is very low. The action up here at the first fret is extremely low. However, it doesn't buzz. I don't know if you'll be able to see the now, of course, these strings are going to stretch, but it's holding tune nicely. One of the things I do when I acquire a used guitar is I'll check the body, of course, tactile. I'll touch it everywhere. And look for cracks or signs of damaged wood, etc. Especially on the inside. I'll examine the glue all around, everywhere. Now, another trick that a friend of mine showed me many years ago with a tuning fork. You should get a perfect A, obviously, but you're looking to listen for any kind of buzz or muted sound. If it's muted, then that means if it's laminated, for example, the lamination may be coming apart. If there's a buzz, there's an obvious crack. Now, I don't know how well you'll be able to hear that on the video. I'll see when I play back. But the other thing is, place the tuning fork on the body for a couple of seconds and pull it off, mute the tuning fork, and listen for the sustain of the guitar itself. You should hear that note carry for a nice amount of time. Well, that carried quite well, and then I'll pluck the A string. It's got a nice decay. It's not flat. It's not, how should I say, it doesn't fall sharply. Yeah, a little bit of cleaning compound here. So I think this guitar is actually in pretty good condition, except for the obvious finger indentations in the fretboard. I'll have to discuss that with my luthier, but otherwise the fretboard cleaned up nicely. It's going to need new frets because they are heavily worn up all the way up the neck, and there's even fret finger marks in the frets at the higher end here or lower end. But overall, it's actually in a playable condition. So overall, the installation of these pins went well. As I mentioned, I really could only put the one washer for it to reach, just so I could thread them on. However, once I started tightening them, I ended up with a lot more available thread. So in this case, I think the one washer was adequate. And this feels nice and solid, tight. Overall, this guitar in this condition is playable. There. Let's see if I can turn this way. Even with that action, that low at the first fret, there's no buzz. It's anyways, I haven't played in many months, and I was never very good to begin with, but sounds nice, has a pretty nice sustain, no buzzing. You know, the neck is nice condition. All in all, in the end, I'm happy with this purchase. And in this case, the pins worked well. So I think they're a keeper. So one more thing, I'll just say I'm going to try the preamp. I'm using my little Black Star Fly 3 combo The camera's right next to the amp, so it may be a little bit loud. I tried to move back a little further from the camera so that you get more of the sound from the amp. I always have trouble with that G. Oh, did that one wrong. That was actually the first scale I ever learned. Woo-hoo! I'd play something if I actually could remember any songs right now. However, this does sound quite nice. It's crisp. Let's see what we got here. Bass on it up. Let's turn the treble down a little bit. That's a little better. So the preamp works, everything works, just it's certainly going to need a refret. So that's going to change the height of the action, of course the new nut, and I think the bridge will be okay. So all in all, this is a pretty good guitar. It's in good condition. Nice purchase.